Hi there, welcome to Town Talks Cardfight. Today I'm doing a Neonectar deck profile. This is one which I am planning to get. I have been trialing it out on Cardfight area. It's coming on very well. This is for the next booster pack, so BT14. So got about a month until I can actually get the cards for this, but this is what I'm working with at the moment. It's getting there. Liking how it runs, it's a lot of superior calling from deck, restanding your rear guards, using most of your rear guards for your attacks. Vanguards are just there for your drive checks, obviously, and also to try and get some superior call effects off. You're using them for their abilities, you're just trying to keep on flooding your field, reflooding your field, and that's the way the deck's focus. This deck is based on um, Maiden of Venus Trap reverse, so yes, it is a reverse unit, so you are um, it's very risky to play against Link Joker. That's a big issue you've got. Beyond that, I haven't found many issues with the deck. Even against Link Joker, I've done particularly well because the sheer vast amount of calling you can do. There's a combination of cards in the deck where you hit with one, you superior call another one which is at rest, or most of your superior calls are at rest. Bring them at rest. But the booster, which is superior calls, if that one boosts, you put it on top of your deck. You superior call the attacking front row at rest. Then you attack your vanguard. It stands back up. You hit. You then superior call the booster again. It's very nice. It's for like cycling your unit to try and get lots of calling effects done. There's lots of good things about this deck. You may find that you don't get to use some of your superior calling effects to really flood your field. But after your turn 2 or 3, you're not actually going to be using cards from your hand to call. You'll just be using it for your break ride, your main ride. Calling isn't something you from your hand you really do. It's all about your superior calls. Right, now I've done that, I'm going to move on to onto the deck profile. Okay, so I don't know, this is Cardfight area. It's a very simple program. Build your deck, play against people online. Okay, this is all with units which will be available from BT14 onwards, so from the next booster, which was the 18th of July. Okay, let's start. My starting vanguard. This is Maiden of uh, Physalis, I believe it is. Okay, it's a very basic card. Uh, you can see what it does here, but I'll just go through it with you. Okay, it's Pioneer, so play it, card on top, bring it out, standard. But it's got the ability from Rearguard. When an attack hits a Vanguard during battle, this unit boosts the Neonectar unit. You may pay a cost, which is put it into the soul. Check the top 5 cards of your deck for a grade 1 unit and superior call it at rest. There's a lot of superior call at rest things that aren't actually expensive costs. A lot of them are just you put the card somewhere else. Like this one's been put into the soul. The other main one you'll use will be put it on top of the deck. It's a very effective way to start your chains going. You get that hit off, you bring out the booster, the special booster, which I'll get to in a second, and you start going for it. Attack, attack, attack. Right, next up, 4 heal triggers. Standard, 4 heal. You don't want to be running anything else because 4 heal is the way to go. It's not one of the silly decks, you're on 4 heal. Okay, 4 crit. Right, standard. Well, not so standard. Normally you want to run 6 to 8, but I'm running 4. Now this is a bit odd how I run this bit, because I do a lot of soul blasting. I need a card which can go into the soul, and I'm actually running 8 stand triggers. One to move into the soul because I'm doing a bit of soul blasting to do my calls. And yeah, so 8 stands. This is because you're focusing on your rear guard attacks. You're going to attack with your rear guards to try and get more cards out, and restand those cards to be able to attack again. Stand triggers work incredibly well. You don't need to draw triggers because you're not using cards from your hand, you're using cards from the deck. So you've got a hand advantage anyway. Using the draw triggers, you're going to lose the cards which you want to be superior calling from your deck, so you're losing playability from your cards. These stand triggers are a lot more useful because you're always going to have at least a card to stand up. You're always going to have it. You're almost always going to have at least an entire column which can be restood from grade 3. So on grade 3 you get 2 stand triggers, you start both and you're going for a really big hit. There's a lot of versatility in having the stand triggers because you're going to get more attacks off, you're going to force more guards, you're going to get more out of having stand triggers than you would from draw triggers. This is very limited in decks which get this amount of versatility from the stand triggers. This is one of them because they have a lot of on-hit effects which activate from rear guard. When this unit boosts and it hits a vanguard, when you hit a vanguard, there's lots of effects like that in this deck. So and stand triggers gives you more chances to do this. Right. Next up, I run 2. This isn't the actual name for it. I can't remember the name for it, but it's the rest one card and rest this unit, drop a card from your hand, draw a card. Cycle card. I run 2 of them. Very useful. It's just a standard card. Okay. I also run 4 of the 8k vanillas. This is a deck I like the 8k vanillas because you're just wanting to get good columns. With the break ride unit, you're hitting a 21 column, which is nice. Your standard column will be, if I'm correct, 16 is your standard column because you have 7k boosters. Your main booster is 7k. You have the 8k one just for when you're boosting your vanguard. That's because boosting your Maiden of Maiden of Venus Trap Reverse. You use her counterblast, you gain 2k, and then you're hitting for 21. It's good for making numbers. That's why you run it. 8k vanilla. Also, using your break rate, you can secure 4 level copies of it. Yep. Alright, next up. This is one of the stars of the deck, Maiden of Cherrystone. Its ability, when an attack hits a vanguard during a battle, this unit boosts the Neo Nectar. You pay the cost, which is put this unit on top of your deck, and search your deck for Maiden of Cherry Blossom and call it to rear guard at rest, then shuffle your deck. So when this unit boosts, you hit a vanguard, put it on top of your deck, search for its big sister basically, and call it at rest. Very nice. It's as it says, you don't have to call it to an open rear guard. You can call it on top of another unit that you don't want. Say you need to get a defensive play going, you're not sure you'll be able to survive with the cards in your hand. You attack with grade 3 rear guard, boosted by this. Then you superior call from your deck to grade 2 on top of the grade 3, get rid of the grade 3. Hit yourself in the scepter. That's a really big thing about this deck. You have lots of defensive power from the ability to superior call so many different things. Right. Also, 4 perfect guards. I want to use the new one. Its art just looks really good. Just standard 4 perfect guards. Very, very strong. Okay. Next up, 4 of the other big card of the deck, Maiden of Cherry Blossom. It is a very strong card. When this unit's attack hits, counterblast 1, soul blast 1, and then search your deck for Maiden of Cherrystone and call it at rest. So you don't have to put this one back in the deck. You're just counterblasting 1, you're soul blasting 1, and you're superior calling. It's quite cheap. Yes, it's not at stand. It's not a card which you'll then be able to attack again with, but that's why you have stand triggers. It is a very, very, very nice thing to do. It's so much on hit pressure. You're forcing so many guards early. And the main thing about this deck is you're forcing lots of guards with lots of on hit pressure. To go on with this on hit pressure, you have 3 Maiden of Rainbow Wood. She is the counterblast to draw one card, the Maiden of Libra clone, standard on hit pressure card. Also in the BT14, another card which is coming out will be the White Rose Musketeer Albert. He is the damage on flipper, very nice card, standard. When he hits Vanguard, on flip 1 damage. Yep. So with these, yes, it's all when the attack hits. This one can attack rear guards, but the other ones, they have to hit the Vanguard. That can be a flaw, but it's something that you work around because it's the main engine for your deck. You're using the pressure onto the Vanguard to try and force guards and try and get as many superior calls out as you can when they can't guard. You're forcing as much hand advantage from that. It's sort of a pseudo hand advantage in a way because you're superior calling from the deck, so you're not using cards from your hand to get for your calling, and you're not you're burning through their guards, so you're reducing their hand, so you're creating a pseudo hand advantage. It's quite an interesting way of doing it. It's similar to the retiring effects, where if you're retiring units, you're creating a field advantage, which then later turns into a hand advantage because they have to replace their cards. This deck is very useful. It works very well with this sort of style of play. You're going for on hit pressure, lots of it. Right, next up we got the Break Ride unit. This is Lord of Deep Forest, Master Wisteria. His Break Ride ability, so Limb Break 4, Counterblast 1. When the Neonectar rides this unit with Pentecost, if you do choose 2 of your Neonectar rearguards, search your deck for up to one card with the same name as each of those units and shuffle your deck. So, in a bit more of a simple term for you, when you Break Ride on top of this unit, you search for a copy of, like a single copy of one of, you pick 2 units on your rearguard, then you search for a single copy of each of those units and superior call them. Okay, they don't get any boost, you're superior calling those 2 units. And then standard plus 10k for break riding, but it's also cost counter plus 1. Right? That's a straight plus 2. Right? Yes, if you don't have the 2 rear guards, it'll get a bit screwed over by this, but it causes a plus 2. You doing that, you can get a free plus 2 off of it. Now, combining that with the Break Ride unit, no, not the Break Ride unit, the reverse unit, Maiden of Venus Trap Reverse. Hello, Red, you counterblast 1, you choose one of your Neonectar rearguards, you lock it, look at the top 5 cards of your deck, search for one Neonectar, call it to rearguard with plus 5,000. Okay, so that's you lock one unit to gain an extra unit with plus 5,000. So you in one turn, you can fill up your entire rearguard. You'll have so you've got 2 units out already. You Break Ride, Maiden of Venus Flytrap on top. You call 2 more of those units. Say one of them is a dud unit and you don't really want, so say you've had a grade 2 and a grade 1 out already. Right? Or you had 2 grade 2s out. You're not going to exactly want to be superior calling both of them, but what you can do is do a superior call for both, lock one, superior search for a card to use instead of your main search for another card to call out, then you can lock the other one and replace another unit. So say one's trigger, you can lock the trigger, superior call another card with the 5k boost that you would get from the trigger. Lots of interesting plays you can do with this. It's lots of field advantage, lots of just strong field control. You will suffer against Link Joker because you've got self-locking cards, so playing against Link Joker, in particular Chaos Breaker, that will ruin you because they're going to retire your units. But you get so much of a hand advantage from calling from your deck, you can kind of go with that, and you don't have to use your Maiden of Venus Flytrap's limit break until really late in the game. You can just repeat Break Ride this guy, and then you don't have to use any counterblast to try and hit a 21k, but you can repeat Break Ride this guy and just keep calling out that way. Same counterblast cost, you are calling 2 units instead of 1, but you don't get the plus 5k on the unit you've just called, which this ability is one reason why I run stand triggers, because you call that unit, attack with it, stand it up again, and get so much more power off it. It's very nice using these cards. Lots of calling. As a raw paladin player, I love lots of calling effects, and I can't really say much else about it. Once I've actually got the deck in real life, I'm going to do I'm going to redo the deck profile. I'm going to show everyone how it looks and maybe do some play-by-plays, and yeah, I'll give a tournament review of it as well, because I feel this deck is tournament worthy just from the way it's played already. It's working very, very well, and not a lot else. Alright, hopefully you all enjoyed this, and if you have any comments on the video, like anything you think I can change about the deck, please do inform me. And as this is my first one from using Cardfight area as a video, I do want to know what people think of it. And that's it for the video for today. I'm Towan. I've talked about Cardfight, and I'll see you around. And subscribe, like this video. Have a nice day.